is it going? Ladies and gentlemen, please. You're too kind. You're too kind. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Snooze Button Specials, the interview series where I go around talking to the artists and creatives around the city that I feel like you're sleeping on. Welcome back, first and foremost, I guess. But my first guest here today is my good man, MMW.
Yeah.
We're a little delayed on that one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's so tight to see you operate this shit right now.
Yeah, man. Real live production right here.
That intro was flawless.
Bam. It's been a while, actually. I haven't done this in like 2020, I think was the last time I did this specific podcast and show. So yeah, Snooze Button Special. You're my first guest back. We're back on this. But yeah, so we're back, and like I said, the whole thing is a concept based around just interviewing artists that I am a fan of, that I think should be getting more shine.
Hell yeah.
And so yeah, you are my first guest, Mr. MMW, more intimately known as Matt. Can I call you Matt during this?
Yeah, you can call me Matt. That's
okay,
cool.
Got you. So first and foremost, we are here in this location that actually has a lot of history that you didn't even know when you first moved here. I told you that this is also where David X met Kenny Mason and made that connection. And then now you live within that same like place. Or I guess
this
you don't.
House?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Did you tell me this at one of the events?
Maybe, or maybe I just told you like in passing and it wasn't like a real like.
Bro, this shit is history, bro.
Yeah, man. So you are really like around some stuff like curating. The energy is already in here.
Yeah, but you know what? One time we had like our landlord, he had like an inspector to like audit the place or whatever, like take pictures of all the shit.
Yeah.
And she came in and she's walking up the stairs and comes down and she's like, "Yo, you know you guys have ghosts in here, right?"
Whoa.
I was like, "Wait, what makes you say that? Like, what makes you say?" She's just like, "It's like a vibe. Like, it's just like a spooky vibe in here." I was like, "Okay, but like, are they good ghosts? Are they bad ghosts? You know what I mean?" She was like, "No, I think they're chill."
I think.
You think?
Yeah.
So who knows, bro? It's a lot of shit living in here, but I feel like we bring good vibes. I think the ghosts have not been fucked. They have not fucked with me. I stay out of the basement. Maybe that's just they place. You know what I'm saying? Maybe upstairs in the attic too. I stay out of the attic. I let them do their thing. But yeah, we making history in here for real.
Gotcha. And nobody ever accounts that ghosts for like pets. Like it could be like a dog.
Wow. So you think like animals have souls?
I mean, why wouldn't they?
I don't know, bro. Like are they like what I guess like what counts as like consciousness? You know what I mean?
Damn, were we about to start off like this?
Whoa.
Are we about to start off like this?
Whoa, I'm just saying, bro. Like, I don't know if dogs and cats have souls, bro. Like,
so, I mean, we're here, so let's just get into that for a second. Now, the interesting thing is that, as far as we understand, the most intelligent species that there's us, dolphins, and elephants.
Yeah.
Now, the interesting thing about all three of these animals is that our brains are vastly different in how they are constructed and how they work. But yet, we still bumped into relatively the same idea of consciousness and memories and things like that. So, I think what that proves is that consciousness is not this one thing. It is a it is a sum of all parts, so to speak. So it's something you almost kind of bump into. And I think that some animals exist on that spectrum. Some exist high, like the lowest form will probably be like an insect.
Yeah.
Like or honestly lower than that would probably be like bacteria. It only knows one thing.
Yeah. And I be struggling to recognize what am I identifying as intellect versus consciousness. You know what I mean? And like if reincarnation is real, then that means everything has a soul. At the end of the day, it's just consciousness going into different things and beings and organic things. But But like, do I think like I can think about thinking right now? You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I can be like, I know that I am thinking about the glasses.
Recursive thinking, I think, is what they call that.
Thinking about whatever the fuck that is. I don't think a dolphin can do that necessarily. You know what I mean? And so maybe that means maybe I'm just more intelligent, or does that mean like I have a soul, like my consciousness?
But then there's also things of like a conscious thing, like a dog can feel pain.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
It knows when it's hurt. It understands that. It knows when it's hungry, and things like that. But like, I also don't know if they have a perception of time.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So I don't know. I just feel like there's levels to
consciousness.
Yes, and I don't necessarily know if you're lower on that doesn't necessitate you have a soul. Yeah. But then, like I said, we get in the whole thing of reincarnation, and if you even believe in that, so it's a whole thing. But we're going to tap back into that. Actually, we're going to get back to that.
So regular shit. Yeah.
So I got you here though, or you have me here, but you're on this show, and we are maybe about a month out from you releasing LessGo, your EP.
Yeah.
Talk to me about just, how do you feel now, a month out, the process of putting that together and all that?
Bro, it was a long time coming. Like, some of these songs are like 2 years plus old, and it was supposed to come out sooner, but things happen, you know what I'm saying? But I'm glad it's out. Excuse me. This is like my first like complete creative work, I feel like, where like the music is a project that I feel proud of. The visuals, the content, everything around it is like a conceptual world, and like everything lives within that. It's a recognizable brand. People that see me out, I've had some people stop me while I have the backpack on, like, yo, I seen you on Instagram, or like, I saw you at some show a while ago, and I think that's cool. It's doing what it needs to do. We're doing a show for it, and like quite literally bringing people into the world. So this feels like my most creative, like holistic piece of art, and also an experiment. I'm just trying a lot of shit. I'm spending a lot of money, nigga, doing this shit. But it's been like cool. I've been learning a lot. It's been the most fun that I've had putting out a project or like any piece of music. People like the music is what I've been hearing. Certain songs, I hear people gravitating towards and things like that. I don't always know what people are gonna fuck with, you know what I mean? But it's cool. So I'm glad. I'm happy with it. I'm taking it in stride. I'm like learning, but I'm also like thinking about the next thing as well. You know what I mean? But I think there's something to being a creative and finishing your projects. Like, you gotta finish the thing to get to the next thing, and hopefully do the next thing better than the last thing.
Yeah, no, you definitely have, like, from as long as I've been following you, this rollout has been kind of like a separation from everything else. I mean, you've always kind of been on top of your content stuff. Like, I found you through the whole like rapping in the bed type thing. So you've always had like this affinity to like striking visuals. But yeah, I think with this one, it has been a much more, or I've gathered it's been a much more consistent a thing and there's just been consistency to it. But you mentioned that, you have a whole concept behind it. Obviously, people can see from it, the backpack, the hiking. Yeah. But can you without giving away too much, can you explain to me like what the concept is and how it came to be?
Yeah. Well, I will say, bro, like, I really wish I could be like, yo, I thought of this shit 3 years ago, and I was like, I need to make all these songs specifically about these themes, whatever. But like, I think I kind of made the music and put the pieces together. I made a bunch of separate pieces, put them together in a way, and kind of thought through after the fact of like, yo, what does this like mean to me? And so I feel like a lot of the music is kind of just about different moments in my life. A lot of my music relates to like relationships and things like that. In my last relationship, I was told that like I had baggage, you know what I mean? And so I kind of took that and like blew that up as a concept of like, all right, what would my emotional baggage look like physically? And so put on the hiking backpack. I have all these different things hanging off of it. I got a pair of Crocs that I wear every day, a woman's bra that's quite literally hanging off of it, you know what I mean? Some like survival cups and pans and things like that, sleeping bags. And so it just, and then who knows like what's literally in the bag, So it's just all the things that you carry along with you. And sometimes it could weigh you down, but I think this is like an optimistic perspective of like, you have the shit, you can acknowledge the things, you see the things that you're carrying with you, move forward with it. And then that's like the first stage of like emotional growth. You know what I mean? Acknowledging the things, moving forward. There's another stage to this shit, but that's gonna be the next project.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you a lover boy? I hear that because you mentioned the heartbreak and stuff, and I listen to a lot of your music, and there's a lot of references to relationships and your feelings and vulnerability. But do you identify as like a hopeless romantic or?
Oh man, bro. I feel like a lot of my relationships, like real relationships, have started out as a casual thing and then turned into something serious because I just like the person and I only fuck with people I kind of like, and I think certain times, like when I'm meeting somebody, I think I could get very infatuated for sure, and so that's when a lot of the feelings and stuff come into play. But saying I'm a lover boy just sounds corny as shit. Since Drake, bro, I can't.
Oh, yeah.
I can't.
Hey man, you can't let him take that from you. If that's what you are, then that's what you are. Don't let him try to take that from you. Don't let him colonize that.
Damn, bro, I ain't gonna lie.
It's already cooked.
Yeah. It's already kind of cooked. But I have been told it sounds like lover boy raps, situationship rap. You know what I mean? So I just kind of speak my truth. I like to speak to like the nuances of like my relationships and experiences.
Yeah. And I feel like, relationships are, we're literally social beings. That's kind of our whole thing.
Yeah.
So, it's not too crazy to think that an artist's biggest motivations and inspirations would come from their relationships and stuff like that. So it's not too crazy, but I just had to acknowledge it.
No, that's real. That's real. And that's not the first time I've heard that. You know what I mean? So shit, I think it is what it is. I think I want to get out of, because it feels like rapping about relationships feels like a cliche in my raps.
Yeah.
So it's certain songs where like it's like God Laughs, that's about just being in your 20s. There is Sips Tea, and that's just about finding peace with the journey and things like that. So I'm trying to challenge myself to rap less or not default to rapping about relationship shit. That's like my artistic challenge, because that's the easiest thing for me to go to.
Okay, well, I'm excited to see how that manifests.
Yeah.
And also keeping it kind of current. Well, by the time this comes out, the show will have already happened, the one in your backyard. Yeah. But originally, it was supposed to be an outside, interactive type of deal. Obviously, it may happen again sometime in the future, but in the off chance, like, explain to people what that vision was and how that was going to tie into everything. Okay,
yeah. Knowing that this is going to come out after it, then it's cool. It's not going to spoil nothing. Yeah. But yeah, the original idea was going to be a Sweetwater State Park. We had this pavilion rented out, and what we would do is like have everyone gather there as the main checkpoint, have it like set designed to kind of look like a summer camp. I got the backpack and shit. We're taking everybody hiking. Alexis, my amazing manager and creative collaborator, she's going to act as the tour guide and kind of walk people through up into the second location. That's not a far hike from the first location. And that's where we'll have a bunch of different art installations that kind of bring to life themes of the EP, right? So like Earl Baddies is all about relating to your partner over your shared love of music. So there's a station where you could sit down and there's a CD player. You can choose a CD and there's 2 pairs of headphones and you could listen to something at the same time as somebody else. There is another station, right? I wrote Sips Tea, the bridge to that, kind of as like a self-affirmation. So we're going to have like a mirror with the lyrics on the mirror so you can look at yourself and kind of experience that of like, I'm a king, I'm a star, I'm a revolutionary, I'm tea, I'm the water, I'm the teapot. You know what I'm saying? And there's like a few more other installations that kind of bring things to life. Lexus came up with this one that's kind of sick. Like, it's kind of insane, but the bra that's on my backpack, right, it's supposed to signify like lust and like confusing that for love sometimes. And so she made like a literal spider web of bras. Like, she has like 50 bras that she kind of strung together. That'll be like between 2 pillars, kind of like a wall of bras, and that shit is pretty sick. So shout out Lex for that.
Damn, are we still gonna get like miniature versions of this at the?
We're getting everything at the event. We're getting the same thing, just only in one contained location.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm looking forward to that. Damn, I wish you would have been able to execute that the way you envision.
I got PTSD doing outdoor events, bro. Lie.
Yeah, I mean, but that's kind of the risk you take doing outdoor events.
No,
you know.
I gotta stop doing that shit.
I mean, well, I appreciate it though, because a thing I talk about with a lot of just not even just artists I know, but just like music friends I have, is that I feel like everything exists too digitally to now. Like there is no tangibility to things. There's nothing you can hold or somewhere you to go. So I appreciate like the real world activation of like, hey, we're having this at this place. You have to come here and like interact and be social and all that type of stuff. Yeah. And I think that helps build community, which is kind of what everybody wants right now.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's cons of doing outside stuff, but I think especially summertime coming up, why not,
Yeah, bro. But I feel you on just like, like real world things matter. And that's something you can't really take away.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's trusting digital things less, especially with AI. You just kind of don't know what's real. Mm-hmm. I feel like the only thing that you can trust is real is just an in-person show where you talk to people, you see the person perform, you interact, you make friends. Like you can't fake real life shit, more or less,
Very real. Okay, well, speaking of the person, part of what I do here is, in helping understand, not just for me understanding you, but the audience getting an idea, is I like to kind of go back a little bit and understand how we got here. So firstly, let's go all the way back to the very beginning. You are originally from Miami, Florida?
No, I'm from Palm Beach, Florida.
Palm Beach, Florida.
I grew up.
Okay. Yeah. What was that like?
It was suburban. It was diverse, but majority white. It was boring as hell. But I think good grounds for me to like, as like a kind of angsty, lonely kid, to just sit in my room and make music. I mean, I did go outside and play a lot as a kid, but I think the boredom that I felt in suburban life made me want to just like explore myself with the music shit.
So growing up, did you have any siblings?
Yeah, I have an older sister.
Okay. Yeah. Was she into music or artistic?
Well, like my family's like super into, like they're super Christian. I grew up in the church. Like my granddad on my mom's side, he was a pastor of the church. My mom sings. My dad plays the bass. My sister sang, danced. Like I played a little bit, and then but I was mostly like the tech nigga behind the scenes, like putting the lyrics on the screen, on the cameras and shit. But yeah, bro, music is in us, bro. I remember like being a kid in church and like my dad's playing the bass. I'm sitting next to him and I just got somebody's drumsticks and I'm like tapping to the beat of the song on like the bass amp and shit like that. So like music is definitely in my roots. It's in my blood. They always played, mostly gospel music growing up. My dad would play some neo soul, some jazz music. And so I kind of got a taste for that. But yeah, bro, it's in my roots. I think I never really got into secular music. I had to go out and find that stuff. And so that's why like certain artists really appeal to me that kind of have, I think, some churchy influences or just genre bending influences,
Okay. There's two things I want to get to from that. Firstly, talking about very Christian household, how would you say your spirituality and your faith has like influenced your journey?
Shoot, bro, that's like a lot. It's a lot because I think it's like presented to you as a default when you're a kid and you go to church every Sunday and this is in your family. It's like a family thing, and I think I recognize that now of like I like church and like I recently started going back to church on my own. And this is I'm skipping a lot of steps here, but I guess how it's influenced my journey. Taking a step back, grew up super Christian. It felt like the default, but I always had questions about things. Like I just wasn't, and also just like morally, certain things I just didn't align with that they would say is just fact in the Bible, or I didn't really align with how everything felt super black and white. Like something's either godly or it's demonic, and I feel like that's just not realistic to experiences, and you could just treat people without empathy when you have that kind of mindset. So I just didn't rock with that, bro. And I had a lot of guilt about that in my teens and stuff. And then going to college, I just didn't go to church because I didn't have to. Like I go to church when I'm back home with my parents. You know what I mean? Yeah. Went to college, I didn't, and so never really thought about it. Didn't care too much about it. I think gospel music is like in my roots though. But growing up, leaving college and then becoming like an independent adult, it's like, bro, I'm scared of the world, nigga. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm like, bro, this shit is too real. And like, I actually need something to depend on that's a higher power than me. And so I find myself like going back to spirituality. And so like, I wouldn't say necessarily like I couldn't call myself a Christian right now, to be perfectly honest, but like throughout high school, throughout college, I did a lot of I meditate a lot. I would pray, you know, and so like developing a personal relationship with God, some shrooms involved there too, you know what I'm saying? But recently I got the urge to go back to church. One, because anytime I get on the phone with my grandma, which we talk at least like once a week, she's like, I'll tell her about the worst shit I've been through in the past 2 months. And she'll be like, but Matt, did you go to church yet? Like, I just want to hear you went to church. And I'm like, bruh, did you not hear shit I just said, bro? Like, what? And I'm offended, but I'm just like, okay. Also, I don't know how much longer she has on this earth, and I actually want to be able to tell her I went to church. So I went to church, and there's one like right here. And so, yeah, I go somewhat regularly. And I think it's cool. I think there's truths in religion. I think it's nice to have community involved with spirituality. Like, I think there's a piece of like community that I was missing from, like, you can have your personal relationship, but I like having people around to share it with, and kind of talk about it with, which is cool. And then also it's been a thing lately of like, I want to make the best art that I can. And I think I need to like become self-actualized to do that. And I think part of that is like figuring out my spirituality. What are the things that like maybe going back to church now as an adult and having my own perspective on things, maybe I can like acquire it for myself and like know what this means for me, take what I can from it and leave what I don't feels aligned with me. And yeah, I think spirituality is like a big part of like me becoming a whole person. And I feel like I need to become a whole person to make the best art that I can. Back to inner child shit, listening to a lot of gospel music that I grew up on that I hadn't listened to for years. And like, it really like reawakens a thing inside of me. Hearing a gospel choir, like hearing people sing in unison in a church, bro, like in person, I get tears every single time, bro. Like that's the most powerful sound to me. So like it's a part of me. And like I think I like kind of left it to the side for a bit after I had my independence. But like, one, I'm an adult and I don't know what the fuck is going on, and I kind of need something of a higher power. And two, like I think it's about coming back to myself and on my own terms. And I think it's just a part of the journey right now for me.
Yeah, I love that answer you gave, because it kind of mirrors, well, for one, my spiritual journey, and then also, well, yeah, I'll just say my spiritual journey, because I came to that when I was younger. I never really grew up in a religious household at all. So like, you know, obviously you live in America, everything kind of defaults to Christian, but we were never going to a church family, none of that type of stuff. So I never really understood like what religion did for people. You know, I would have some relatives, you know, they were super, like you say, it's either godly or it's demonic, or even just like classmates. I had people who went to school who were just, you know, open about their faith and religion. I just didn't understand it. I thought maybe at a certain point it was like performative, I thought. But like you, adult world became real. And that's when I started to understand, because I was like, I think when you are a kid, obviously you believe in God if you come up in that. But your saviors are your parents. Like if there's a situation you can't handle, you go to mom or dad or whoever and they fix it. Then at a certain point, it's school or whatever. Like, I don't know this. I go to the teacher. I go to whoever. So there's always, we grow up in these hierarchy systems where we know there's someone above us who can help us if things get wrong. But then you get out into that adult world and there's no one there. There's no one there. When something goes wrong, you can't blame, well, my mom didn't pack the or my teacher didn't tell me. It's just you. Yeah. And that is a very hard thing to bear. To think that everything in the world is happening because of you or to you because of you, that's a lot. Yeah. And I feel like you say, like, finding that that higher power almost to kind of like lean on or to give you that upliftment. To be like, it's not just you. Yeah. And like you say, that community comes through it. If then you meet other people who are also going through the same thing, and then you learn like, oh shit, like I'm not alone in this. Yeah. So I have an adult world, and it's also funny because I work around like high schoolers, and you know, they're at that age where they start questioning things, and they're like, I just tell them, hey man, you just got to get older. That's all I tell them. You just haven't lived life yet. Eventually you'll be looking for something. Yeah. But no, that's a beautiful thing, and I'm glad that it still influences you to this day. But like I said, I can see it. So obviously it's something that shines. It's in you, not on you. So now going back to your parents again, the second thing that I wanted to ask is that, you know, it seems like, you know, the music thing was just second nature in your household. But at what point, or do you remember an event or point where you made the conscious decision of like, I would like to do music?
Yeah. Shit. I don't know if there was like an exact moment. Well, I kind of do remember like an event. But like, okay, I had like these neighbors that I would hang out with all the time as a kid. And like your neighborhood friends are kind of your world, bro. Especially, I didn't have a phone back then. Like, it was just like, oh, we're real life, living life. You just know the people around you.
I wish we could go back to that, but
yeah, here we are. But yeah, and then a situation happened, and I'm like, what, 11 or 12? A situation happened that made me lose trust with those friends, and they were like the main friends of the neighborhood. Like, if you were cool with them, you're cool with everybody, and that made me lose. Like, a situation happened where I lost trust in that entire thing, and so I felt very isolated and kind of just like rejected by the world in a sense. That's how it felt to me as a kid. And so after that, I think I noticed this throughout my life of like, if I feel like I've gone through some shit or like done wrong, rejected in any sense, I need to like get better to show them.
We are so similar.
You feel me? Yo. And so like, I can't get worse. Like anytime some bad shit happens, like I have to improve in some way, some form. So like my version of that was like, yo, and I really loved music. You know what I mean? Like for years I was dissecting the instrumentals for beats in my head. Like when I'm listening to music, I was already kind of making beats before I ever touched a DAW. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, my dad had GarageBand on his laptop. I was asking him about it. I was getting into like Odd Future and Childish Gambino around that time. And yeah, and I just started like making beats and stuff and being a producer. And I kind of knew the music I wanted to make wouldn't be Christian. And I knew like my family would feel some type of way about that. Or at least I think I made a bigger deal about it in my head back then than in reality. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna just be a producer. I don't have to talk. I can just make some fire beats and I can do that and it's safe and it'll be cool. And so that's what I started out doing, just making beats for like years. And then eventually I started writing some songs. I wanted to give beats to kids in my high school, but I feel like they weren't fire. And so I had to just get on my own shit because I'm like, these niggas can't rap like that, except for my homies. My very first recorded song that was ever put out, it was a song called Splendid by Kevin. I think his rap name currently is Kevin Solstice. I don't know what it was back then. But anyway, I featured on that shit. Like it mini blow up on SoundCloud. Like 5,000 listens in like a week or some shit was like the world to me back then, you know? And so that was like a confirmation to me like, okay, I can do this. I'm good at this. And And yeah, but a lot of it was really just like, yo, I'm gonna show these niggas. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be so good at this thing that I'm good at that y'all are not gonna be able to not see me. Like, I'm never gonna be invisible to these niggas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know that feeling all too well. I tell people all the time, it's, in all these other doing something just for the betterment of yourself, those are all good. But spite is a very strong motivator. And I have a couple of skills and things that I have now that were all just because I'm gonna show y'all. Yeah. So no, I definitely get that. The only thing I will say about that, though, which you probably have noticed, is that how can I tell the story without giving too many specifics? But there was a time where there was a group of people where I felt similar of like, okay, I'm gonna show y'all, like and that kind of is what gave me my thing to jump on my journalism journey, like as hard as I did. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. And then there was a situation where I was covering something. This was 4 or 5 years after everything. And I'm out covering something and I see the people who I'm like, yeah, like y'all see me. And they saw me and I don't know what I expected this interaction to be like. I don't know. I guess in my head, it was just going to be like on some told y'all niggas, this, that, and this. But nah, they were like hella supportive and like hella proud. They was like, damn, Tyrone, like I see you out here doing your thing. Like, man, keep it up, bro. And I was like, fuck. Like I don't really know what to do. And it kind of sent me in a frazzle for like a couple of months. I had to refine a new motivation because I was like, damn, like I've been doing this just to show these people. And I'm like, and they're not even thinking about me in that way. So I don't know if you've had that experience yet, but so yeah, to all the people listening who just use spite, just know that it can run out.
Yeah, it's not a sustainable fuel. Yeah, it's not long lasting. It works in bursts and like, yeah. But I also think that's where passion comes in too, because you wouldn't stick to this shit for that long if it wasn't for something within you that truly wanted to just like express yourself or like put something into the world, and like receive something back maybe, like I think there's a deep passion for this shit that I feel like at the core. And I imagine you feel the same too.
Yeah. So, okay, so around 11, 12, that's when you decide you're going to start making beats and stuff like that. At this point, are you still like looking at, or have you gotten to the point of like, okay, this is what I want to be? Like, are you taking it serious or is it just something you're doing?
Yeah. And I think 11, 12 is when the thing happened. I think maybe a couple years later is when I started making beats and stuff. Got you. But it was still like as a result of that like event, Mm-hmm. But yeah, bro, I think like, when did I figure out like if this is something I wanted to do for real? I think I did since high school, bro. I don't know. There's something like really attractive about just wanting to like seeing my heroes like Childish Gambino, like Tyler the Creator, like Chance the Rapper at the time. And I'm just like, bro, that could be me, nigga. I just need pigeons and planes to repost my shit and I'm out of here. I don't even got to go to college, but fuck it. I'm going to go and just keep doing the thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, it's fun. I know I was really, I don't know. It felt like the thing I was the best at. To be quite honest, it feels like the thing I'm the best at is making music. And so I feel like naturally, like, why would I not want to do that? It seems fun. You get mad. And also as a nigga that was like kind of lonely and like felt rejected by the world in my like teens, it's like, okay, this is going to award me all the validation I need. You know what I mean? Like this is going to be all that. And, yeah, the rapper life just seems like cool. I don't know. It should seem cool.
Yeah, real. Okay, so who were some of the first people when you first start putting music out? Obviously, you said Kevin Solstice was the first person you worked with, but who were some of the first people to hear your music, and what was the reception early on?
Oh man, that's a good question. I think the first people to hear it were people in high school. But after I dropped that first song, like with Kevin, I featured on it. This producer named Emerald reached out to me, and it's this dude in Germany. He just messaged me on SoundCloud and was like, yo, I fuck with your sound. Let me send you some beats. I was like, what? What, bro? Yeah, hell yeah, bro. And then And this is around what, 2017, 2018? And he sends me like some beats and shit. And like, yeah, we ended up making like a whole album together. And that was a lot of validation of like, okay. And I kept hearing from other people that I'm better than average. I'm better than average at this thing, you know? Which like I felt like was cool. Emerald put a battery in my back with that album. And then people in high school heard certain songs. I had a song called Flowers that like people locally within my circle like really liked that song. Life by the Sea was another one. So yeah, like the early music, I think just like high school friends and like girls hearing that shit and being like, yo, you're fire. I was like, yo, okay, bet. It's working, nigga. It's working. And yeah, and then I think I got exposed to like I didn't know of any type of music scene in Palm Beach. Like I thought it was hella boring and lame as shit. And then like I forgot what year it was, but like I found the art school. There's like an art high school. There's like a group of art high school niggas. I think it was like Dreyfus High School in Palm Beach, and they would like have art shows. And I remember going to the first one and being like, yo, what is this world of niggas who are creative? Where was this my whole life, nigga? Where was y'all? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it was mad cool hearing mad local artists, DJs, like from Palm Beach. And I'm like, I didn't know this existed. And like a childhood friend of mine that we had lost touch, but like reconnected again in late high school. Like he kind of brought me into the thing. Him and his girl had a clothing brand. And it really exposed me to the world of like, okay, this is like a local scene and that's what this thing could look like. And like, it's a means for me to like, you know, put myself out there and like gain an audience and shit like that. So shout out Amari. That was my homie. Still the homie. Shout out Yanko. That nigga played one of my songs. I made like a remix to like a SZA song and he like spun that shit and I was like, this is amazing, bro. I appreciate you. Yeah. And then I did like a show with like a live band and like we barely got to practice because niggas was all in different cities and like I forgot half of my lyrics, the whole shit. But the band carried, nigga, and we still did that shit, you know?
Gotta have those experiences.
Yeah.
So what was the creative scene in Palm Beach like? And then how would you compare it to like what you're dealing with now in Atlanta?
Yeah, man. Palm Beach, I really wish I had more memories because I got the tail end of it before I went to college, right? Like I really caught it like right before I went off and did my own thing. But yeah, I think it was called Studio 561 was like the collective of niggas that would throw events there. My very first show was in Palm Beach. My nigga, his name was Sho, and my other homie, what's that nigga name? Wow, this is about to mess me up, bro. But anyway, they got me my first show in Palm Beach. You know Theo Vegas?
I do know Theo.
So his older brother Tuck, we're all from Palm Beach. So like his older brother Tuck was like in the scene. He helped. He was one of the organizers for my very first show ever, bro. But I just remember it being like, yo, I was sick of niggas. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie. Now that you got me started, bro, I remember, dog, because one thing I think maybe I always noticed and kind of knew and maybe lean into is just like being different from the niggas around me in terms of sound of my music. But like that's when X was popping off. You know what I mean? Like X, like the 2016 XXL class.
Yeah.
Just came in and did their shit. But like XXXTentacion was like the nigga. So everybody in Palm Beach was just screaming on a mic with auto-tune, bro. Yeah. That's what niggas was doing for like a good 5 to fucking 8 years, bro. And they got, it felt like everybody was stuck in that sound. There was a nigga named Lil Toe. He dressed in a toe costume, like just like a big toe costume, and would scream on a mic, and like niggas would go crazy for that shit. And I'm just like, you know, shout out rage music. It seems like the zeitgeist now, and those were like the early stages of it. Mm-hmm. That was never my shit. And it felt cliche, and it felt like it's the thing that niggas felt like. You know, when we were just talking about how, you know, everybody's a DJ now. You see somebody on TikTok doing a mashup, and you're like, I could do that. Yeah. Anybody with a fucking shitty mic or a fucking iPhone mic and some auto tune and FL and a YouTube beat felt like they could do it. So everybody's in Palm Beach sounded like that, and it was uninspired, and it just was like corny to me. So that's what a lot of it felt like. There was a few other people doing like alternative shit. Can't quite remember who the fuck they were, but the zeitgeist of that time was just like screamo rap, and it was just exhausting.
Yeah. So then you mentioned you went off to college. So was your college like far from, like separated from Palm Beach?
Yeah. I went to college at FSU in Tallahassee, Florida. And so that's like way up North Florida. But there's a lot of people from like Broward, South Florida. Because I grew up between Palm Beach and Broward a bit. Like my church was in Broward, so I know a lot of people. I was there every week. Like my grandma lived over there. So like I had some homies. There's a big overlap between South Florida and Tallahassee. People who just go there for college. There's FSU there. There's FAMU there. TCC. So, yeah, bro. But the music scene out there was cool. I feel like that's where I really got my feet into like a music scene for real. That's where I met Chigusa. I think we met at the same open mic in some coffee shop. There's hella like hipster coffee shops in Tallahassee. And so like those are cool spots to just do open mics and shit. And so, yeah, me and him ended up doing the same open mic. And, like, I was just like, yo, your shit was cool. I saw this nigga pull up. Oh, we did the same show. Wait, I lied. I met this nigga in South Florida. And found out that he was going to school in Tallahassee. It was, like, on a break or some shit. And we was back home. And I believe we ended up on the same lineup. And I saw this nigga pull up with his machine and, like, make the beat live. And I was like, this is the best shit ever. Nigga, who are you? Like, I've never seen nobody do no shit like that. And then me and Chigusa just like linked up from there, and we went to school in Tallahassee and like made some songs together and shit. We got a song called Matilda, and so we would do shows in Tallahassee, and like that song before it ever dropped. We had that song for like a year or two, like before we ever dropped that shit, and it became like a local. Anytime niggas saw us, they want us to perform that shit. You know, I usually end a lot of my shows with that song to this day. Just it's lit. The Tallahassee scene was cool. I felt like it was pretty diverse. Shout out Bachi. He is a mentor and like homie to this day. It was cool seeing how people maneuver. Also just like seeing the politics of like music scenes in general, and like you kind of know who's the in crowd by who keeps getting the shows and who knows who, and seeing the faces and things like that. But that really got me into like being able to maneuver a space, make friends, you know, like get into a scene. I feel like that's where I cut my teeth. Is that the right phrase? In Tallahassee.
Okay. Now you've introduced one of the important characters that I was going to ask you about, but Chigusa, and then there's also Juvair. So both of these guys you meet in Florida, right? But
yeah, I met them like I met Juvair in college as well.
Okay.
Yeah. You want me to get into that?
Yeah, because I was going to say, how did meeting them and then all three of you making the decision to move to Atlanta?
Yeah, bro. That shit was fate, nigga. That shit was written in the stars, nigga. But yeah, I met Juvair because like going to school at FSU, like it's like a PWI, bro. So I was just friends with the black people that were around me, you know? And Juvair happened to be a friend of a friend. And he found out I made music, and I knew he was like doing digital media in college. So like, it just made sense. Let's do music videos together. You know what I mean? And he did my very first music videos like ever. And that whole process of just like concepting, putting some shit together, shooting it, having a homegirl like be the girl in the video and like figuring that thing out. And yeah, bro, very early collaborations. He helped build my confidence a lot with just like doing visuals, putting out content, things like that. So he was like one of my first collaborators ever. But I wouldn't say we were like close back then, for real. We were just like collaborators, I feel like, and we would see each other every now and then, but mostly we like interacted through work, you know? And then Chigusa and I like became close in Tallahassee, I would say, earlier on, because he made music, he made alternative shit, and like, yeah, he's like a little bit older than me, and so like he generally like our life arcs in terms of like life lessons and shit, he learned like a year or two before me, and so we related on a lot of shit, but he would big bro give me his advice on some shit. I would give him my perspective on things, because we also like, he tends to be like more introverted and more of like a loner, whereas I'm like more social by nature. And so like we would each give each other advice. It felt like a yin and yang type situation. And we collaborated, and it was cool. It felt very pure to just like have a homie to make music with and like talk about life and shit and navigate the Tallahassee music scene with. You know, we did a lot of shows together back then. That shit was really cool. And so I think later on in college, I think like Juvair was like a year before me. He graduated like a year before me. But we got closer towards before he was leaving. But yeah, all of us graduated or like, you know, left Tallahassee, went back home for like a year or two to just reconnect and shit. And that's when I got introduced to the Miami local scene through Chigusa, because Chigusa grew up with all them niggas in like Broward in Miami. He went to high school with all these niggas, Astor, Project Ruckus back then, Astor, Rayanne, fucking Dylan, Phoenix James, I like Blue. All these niggas in the Miami scene, like Chigusa kind of knew. And so since I had songs with him, I was able to like perform at his shows, and they got to see what I could do, and I kind of got my foot in the door that way. And the Miami scene was like the best shit ever, bro. Like I really enjoyed that. That shit exposed me to the super diverse and like hidden talent in Miami, bro. Because you get people from all over out there. And so, yeah, me and Chigusa really did a lot of shows back then. I would say this was like post-pandemic, 21, 22, 23-ish. And so, yeah, bro, I got introduced to the Miami scene. I got mad homies there. That really showed me like, okay, this is a scene to aspire to. You know, like seeing people and like being genuinely impressed. It's very rare that like I see local niggas and I'm genuinely impressed by their artistry and their performance, and makes me want to be better and get on those stages and like get better to like match up to them. And I felt like that with the Miami scene, you know? And so, like I said, it gave me something to aspire to. It was cool. You kind of didn't know what you're going to get. It also felt kind of grimy. You know, these are like house shows, you know, that niggas is throwing. They got jungle juice. It's at somebody's crib. The cops might get called, whatever. Everybody's sweaty as shit. It's South Florida. It's musty. Like it's just all that house party, house show, art show energy. That felt very pure, and I felt like I was like a part of something. I felt embraced by people. That shit was really cool. And so me, Chigusa, and Juvair, we got closer around the time that we all left college and stayed back home for a little bit, and we're in the scene. And we were like, yo, we want to move somewhere. We want to go to Atlanta, because like we've all visited Atlanta at some point and felt like it was close enough to home to where you could kind of drive, but it was also just different, you know? Like we were kind of over South Florida for a bit, like not over it, but just like, okay, let's experience something new, you know, and see what we can do in another major city. Atlanta made sense. It's like hella black people. Juvair's in film. It's like, you know, a great city for film. And so, yeah. We moved out here, 2022? Wait, I'm lying. It's 2026. Yeah, 2022. And got an apartment together and did our shit up here, bro. And like very few connections. But I think what was cool about like kind of finding connections here was like, I think 2022 is when I started really getting serious about content and social media. And so that's when I started posting consistently. And so I made a lot of connections through TikTok and like doing posts about, yo, ATL niggas can't dress and shit like that. And the whole time I'm like in an oversized sweater and like brown dickies, and niggas in the comments like, you just dress like Tyler the Creator, nigga. Who are you? And I was like,
taking the easy rage bait every time. Every time.
Yeah. I ain't gonna die. I was definitely rage baiting niggas with my song in the background. For sure. But that's how I met Lucid Luke through TikTok. And
shout out that boy Luke.
Yeah, shout out Luke. And they put me on to like my first show in Atlanta, and I think it was like a Christmas show fucking years ago. And Jason was on that lineup, Joe Kappa was on that lineup, I think McKenna was on that lineup too, and like some other homies. And like, yeah, that's what got me into the scene, and like people being able to see what I could do and like yeah, that was like how I felt like I was a part of an Atlanta music community, and that was like the start of it, and meeting people through there and shit. Yeah, and it's been cool.
Okay, and then here we are 4 years later. Like, what is your opinion? What is your review of the Atlanta creative scene, or just living in Atlanta in general for you comparatively to Florida?
Yeah. I think living here in general, like you get every type of black person ever. Like representation is not like an issue out here. You see the entire spectrum of black people here, which is really cool. I've never felt like the default person. Like, especially being in Miami sometimes, I rarely went outside of art shows, but in Miami, bro, it'd be racist as hell, bro. I'm not gonna lie. So many microaggressions and aggressions in Miami. You kind of feel othered out there. Atlanta is not that at all. It's cool. I feel like at home, but also it's different because it feels more southern than South Florida. South Florida is like its own fucking country, you know? So more southern vibes. I really like the like R&B scene they got out here, bro. Like beats and ballads, Poetry on Peter, like Young Yana, Tafari. I can't name niggas or else I'm gonna miss a lot of niggas, but that scene of like neo soul, R&B people, really good, really fucking talented. Whatever our bubble is with like Lucid, Jason, Joe Kappa, like the niggas at Sukasa, whatever that is, shit's fire. It's really fun. It feels like community. But yeah, I will say the zeitgeist of like underground rap though is the rage rap shit, which is just not my shit, and I feel like I can't escape that shit. You know what I mean?
I guess while we're here, we'll take this slight tangent here for a second too. Now, me and you have had this conversation about underground as a sound and people attaching a sound to what underground is. No, it's so funny because I've been seeing a lot of comments now where these underground rage rap fans can't wrap their head, because everything happens in cycles. Right? Everything that happened before is going to happen again. And I remember 2015, 2016, Yachty, Uzi, all these people come out. The old heads are like, what the fuck is this shit? Kids don't know anything. Y'all are like, But then those artists got more popular. Off camera, we were having a conversation about like Paris, Texas, and people kind of using that sound. I think as a sound gets more mainstream, naturally the people who do the sound very well will become more popular, whether they identify as mainstream or not. And I think what these kids are noticing now is that their favorite artists are becoming mainstream now, and they can't wrap their heads around it. Like they still want to hold on to this thing of like, no, we're underground because but it's like, no, that's the sound that you have. But the sound you have is getting popular now. And now, unfortunately, the people who do those sounds are not underground anymore. So I don't know. I say all that to say that I think there is a lane opening up for a new underground sound because the rage sound is fucking popular. It's been around now since X, basically. That was the start of it. I would say Whole Lotta Red kind of stamped it, and then now here we are. Opium and all of these things are just commonplace. But I don't know. How do you feel about this whole thing of like the underground sound being attached to just underground as a general idea?
Yeah, nigga, that shit took me by surprise. Like 2 or 3 years ago, when like underground is the sound of just like the Cardi children. You know what I mean? That shit blew me, because underground was Chance the Rapper to me growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like underground was Odd Future and shit. Like that was underground. And honestly, it could be also X, you know, at a certain point. You know, it was X and Tyler. Now I feel like it would exclude a nigga that sounds like Tyler. Right. You know what I mean? Which is just odd to me, because underground was supposed to be the umbrella for any nigga just kind of coming up with like some momentum. And now it's like a kind of pigeonholed and fucking what they appropriated underground to just mean rage music, you know? And I don't fuck with that, but I've kind of accepted it. It's just like that's language. I guess it's just like what happens.
Yeah, and then like I said, in the next 5 or 6 years, there'll be a new sound, and that will be underground, and then and it's just gonna repeat. It's like I said, it's the same thing. I think the truth of the matter is that there is more than one mainstream now. Mm-hmm. I think this is the example I had used. It's like it used to be if you had a poppin' show on cable, like it was on cable. That was mainstream because everybody had this, for the most part, everybody had the same cable. Yeah. But now you can have a show and it's only on Netflix, but it's the biggest shit on Netflix. Yeah. So if I only go to Netflix, this shit's on the front page, it's mainstream because it's like the front page of Netflix. But if I have a Disney Plus account, I don't even know it exists. Yeah. So it's mainstream in the fact that it's the biggest thing in this huge distribution thing. Yeah. But it's still not mainstream because it's not a household name, so to speak. So I don't know. That's just these tangents and these revelations I've come to about the underground sound. And I know we've had this conversation a lot.
Yeah, bro. And like seeing that shit, it's like feeling like is there a space for me to cut through and really elevate, if there's not that big of a movement. But also like I think in the underground as the umbrella, I feel like there's two kind of waves that I'm seeing, which is the rage music side, but also the like quote unquote abstract rap side with Earl, with Mike, Navy Blue, Mavi, and them niggas who be rapping their ass off. Yeah. And I feel like that is something where I could kind of like maneuver through, but that's not the shit in Atlanta. Just to be honest, it's just not the shit in Atlanta. I need to go to New York for that shit if I want to do
I've had this conversation with other artists as well. So you got to go where you're needed.
Yeah. But we're also on the internet. So it's just like, all right, bro. Like I kind of think it's weird. Part of me is like, all right, I need to cultivate that shit in Atlanta and really bring niggas together and make Avengers, nigga, and do this shit, And part of me is like, just move to New York where the audience is already there. The wave is already moving. It just like slide into that because I already got mad connects in New York. Like I feel like I could. But I actually really love my community here too. So I'm at a point of like I don't quite know where I want to go next, but we'll see.
I'm also in the same boat with that.
Yeah.
Okay. So here we are, present today. You've been here 4 years now.
Yeah.
Talk to me about Only on the Off Days and how that comes about.
Yeah, bro. Off days, man. Shit. It originally wasn't going to be like a thing. It wasn't going to be like a whole event series.
Well, what is it, first of all, for the people who don't know?
Yeah, Off Days is overall summary of a thing. Off Days is my events brand that I had with my roommates and some other homies, where we throw largely live performance music-based events, but with twists on traditional formats in Atlanta. Yeah.
Okay. And so, how did that come to be?
It came to be originally, me and Chigusa moved out here, and we're like, bro, we're not seeing the kind of shows, the kind of lineups that we missed in Miami, which is just like diversity, local niggas, but really talented niggas, with a curated lineup to what we wanted to see. And so we're like, all right, we don't see that, let's make that. And we did our first music festival called Mid Bloom. This was like 2023, 2024, don't quote me on that. But we put that shit together, had a fire lineup, and it was originally just supposed to be a one-off thing of like, all right, because this is what me and Chigusa did in Tallahassee. We put together a show in Tallahassee because we kind of felt like a similar thing of we're not seeing exactly kind of shows or the exact opportunities. So it's like, let's make our own thing. Let's do some dope shit. We made our own show, produced it, put the lineup together, performed, and after that, it created momentum for us to get way more opportunities afterwards, and that kind of got the ball rolling. And so we're like, let's do that here in Atlanta. And yeah, we did that. We got together, dope lineup. It just rained halfway through the event, and it was an outdoor event. So there,
Them outdoor events.
yeah. Hence my PTSD with outdoor events. So I didn't even get to perform. That was a whole thing. That was like emotionally triggering, bruh. Like to go through that, to put in work for months, and then feeling like it's a situation where I can control the result, right? Like I'm putting it together. I'm getting on the stage. I'm making the song. I can control this outcome, and then for it to not be able to perform after months of work, fucked me up. It made me just like not want to fuck with music and performing and shit for a while. But got over that. And we eventually want to do more shows and shit, and just produce our own shit and kind of create the pocket of alternative music that we wanted to see in Atlanta. And so we did more events, and we did one event called For the Love of Music, and which was basically like it's like a better version of a club appearance. When niggas, you're in the club and they're like, stop the music, we got Lil Boo Boo to perform, and he stops it and performs for 15 minutes and fucks up your vibe. Like we're like, nah, let's do it in a cool way where the DJ actually like curates a set around an artist's music. They seamlessly transition into the artist. Damn, I'm giving away the sauce, but it's okay. It's already out there. The DJ seamlessly transitions into the artist's music. They kind of come from the crowd and perform their shit, and then the DJ transitions out. So it's like quite literally creating an environment where the artist's music is supported, and gets showcased and platformed for a little bit. And then we do that for like 3 or 4 artists throughout the night, but it still feels like a nightclub, nightlife type of moment. So we did that, and we did a couple other events, and yeah, it's just been a process of like creating what we want to see, and also for me, it's cool to put events together and like try to see if you can like influence culture. Like that shit's cool. Yeah, it's just cool to just see like what kind of impact you can make, put together the lineups you want to see, do this shit with your friends. It's hard too. It's really hard as well.
Yeah, and I think it's cool just the concept of having like a performer being the one to like make a show, because if I was doing a show, this is what I would want, or these are the things that I would like to go this way. So you can offer that for other artists.
Yeah.
Okay. So, taking all of it into account, off days, the shows, your personal journey as an artist, looking just abstractly, into the future, what is it you want from all of this?
I want to be able to quit my 9-to-5 and be able to just do cool creative shit and like live comfortably off of that. It's really what I want to do. And like, if I could primarily make music like my main thing, but I'm going to keep dropping Childish Gambino, Tyler, the Creator, these multi-hyphenate niggas who like kind of used their individual art forms as a platform to do whatever the fuck else they want to do. So yeah, I want to make music. I love graphic design. I like throwing events and creating experiences for people. So I want to be able to do all those things and more. I want to become a better musician. I want to like be able to play piano and play live and shit. Like I just want to do cool shit, cool creative shit. And like, yeah, make something that's meaningful to people. Like one that's like deeply meaningful to me, and then can like be something that makes somebody else feel seen, feel something. Yeah.
I get that. Okay. So these last couple of questions here, strictly rap nerd stuff here for a second, because I figured you were the best person here to talk about. So this is pointed at you a little bit. Now,
oh shit.
I would like to know, as a person who has also, written some bars here and there and posted them on the internet for people to see.
Right now, bro.
I don't know what he's talking about. Oh, please. Anyways, I wanted to ask you, is there a particular bar or song or series of bars that you feel like people don't really appreciate as much. Like you hear it and you be like, God damn, like I put that together, or this is like, and nobody else has the same reaction to you. Is there a bar or a song off the top of your head that you can think of?
For my shit or just in general?
For your shit first, but in general also.
Damn. Okay. Let me look at my project again. I gotta give you a good answer.
I hear that because I forgot where this was inspired from, but yeah, somebody was like, or I think I was just listening to myself.
Yo, nigga, BMO is a crazy song, nigga. MF BMO on my last project.
Okay.
Like, I'm rapping from the perspective of like BMO from Adventure Time as a robot, but also just like a black man in society. And it's just crazy double entendres throughout the whole shit, bruh. Okay. Hand me the remote quick. See, this my keynote, and I don't even need no chip. No ones and zeros, and I'm the big BMO. You just a TiVo. It wouldn't be no movie without me. You just a B-roll. Designed in the image of God. I'm alive. Most of you niggas is just living to die. Stick to the script. That shit isn't a vibe. A carbon copy of a copy you can see in AIs. You feel me, nigga?
Yeah, see,
niggas ain't catch the AI bar, nigga. You can see in AIs, nigga. Yeah, it's some crazy. Yeah, I barred the fuck down on that shit. Yeah.
And what's typically like your process? Are you like, I have all these thoughts in my head and I got to put them on paper or write them out, or are you just like, let me go in the studio and just see what connects?
Yeah, typically, I hear a beat first and like try to get a really nice first bar, and like I'll just kind of mumble some shit so I get like a semblance of. Like a really great first bar is like the most important shit to me ever. And like everything else will follow from that. It kind of just feels like creating like a puzzle where it's like, all right, here's the next rhyming word. What are the words in between? Sometimes I'm like, okay, I want to end on this shit. Nigga, let me fill in the blanks to like, wow, these niggas. Oh, how the fuck did he... You know what I'm saying?
I've done that before. So to give out a little bit of my sauce, I do like these drills for myself as far as rapping. And that's what I would do sometimes. I would like a phrase that I thought was really cool. And I'm like, I have to build a verse around this phrase. I have to somehow get here and then go somewhere afterwards. So yeah, I don't know. I just think that's really cool. I'm trying to think, there was like another rap question that I had that I cannot remember. Oh, well, just in general, is there a rap bar that you hear from another rapper or rapper that you be like, damn, but nobody else catches it?
What was I listening to today, bro? Shit. Okay, it goes back on Spotify. Hold up.
You know, I definitely be hearing, especially when you listen to a lot of lyrical miracle type niggas, you definitely be hearing shit and you be like, y'all niggas didn't catch that? I think Wale had a bar one time and he was like, you niggas tenders, like, yeah, you niggas bars is tender like umbrellas and cups. And I was like, damn. And I remember I was with a friend and they were like, I don't know if I get it. And I was like, because when you got the bar, they put the umbrella in the drink. So like bartender.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
that took a second.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, dog.
So it's a couple of them out there, but some niggas out here really be rapping for real.
Yeah, bro. I'm not going to lie. This is fucking me up right now.
Well, no pressure if you can't come up with one right now.
Yeah.
You got yours out, and that was the most important one.
Yeah, I might got to get back to you, dog.
That's cool.
Oh, okay, no. I was listening to Rock Marciano earlier, bro.
He's another one.
And that nigga just be saying, like, real, like, he just be saying real kind of regular shit. In this song, The Elephant Man's Bones. Let me find the bar for you, bro. I got to actually say this shit word for word. And it's not even nothing crazy. Like, you're going to be like, all right, bro, whatever. But I just like the way he delivers that shit. Yeah, this food for the spirit. The music is endearing. I'm sharing the human experience. Like, that's just some really simple shit. But like, nigga, I'm sharing the human experience. Like, he got another bar about like a vampire, bro. I gotta just stand. Hold up. Let me get you. Yeah, I'm ashamed, mama. I'm hiding from the mirror like a vampire, my nigga. But I ain't got forever. to correct all of my errors. And he's like saying, like, vampires live forever, so it's like errors, but eras.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just like the simple shit, but also like the delivery of it. Like,
and the people sleep on that too. I love how when a rapper, like, that's why Andre 3000 will always be one of my favorites, because like he has that thing where he can like say it in that like southern drawl twang and like stretch a rhyme scheme out. I love that shit.
Yeah.
Love that shit. Or honestly, it's kind of cliche now when rappers do it, but I used to like when rappers would like say a word wrong and then they'd be like, oops, I mean.
Yo, that is gonna be some corny ass shit, but like, yo, I feel you though. That's like one of them ones like, what the fuck? Wayne said that shit on Barry Bonds. That song with Kanye.
Oh yeah, oops, I meant Havik. Oops, I meant Havoc.
I'm so crazy. Oops, no, bro.
Yeah, sometimes it's a little like, but the one I think of, there's a Migos song I think of, and Quavo says like, I think he says like Al Qaeda. Mm-hmm. And I think as I was listening to it, I was like, that's not how you say that. And then the next bar, he was like, damn, I meant Al Qaeda. I was like, oh, these niggas are too hard, bro.
He brought it back, bro. No, that's why I love rap too, bro, because it feels like freedom. Like, you can literally, like, you can just make shit up. Like, you can use words and make up words, and you can kind of just do whatever. I don't know. It's very simple, but like, there's a freedom in being able to just kind of say what the fuck you want, however you want, and making it sound fly. Like, there's beauty in that, you know?
Yeah, man. One of the least favorite things people do sometimes when they try to like dissect bars and they just like read them. And I'm like, yeah, everybody's bars sound lame when you just read them in a flat voice, but it's all about the delivery, the cadence, the flow. We could be here all day.
Absolutely.
Okay, so lastly here, Matt. First of all, like I said, thank you for having me here.
Thank you, bro.
Being on the show. First guest back on the Snooze Button specials. But the last thing here, it's a recurring question that I asked all my guests here. If somebody is listening to this and they identify with some part of your story, whether it be growing up in a Christian household, living in Florida, moving out of the state, heartbreak, just anything they identify with you, what advice would you give to someone?
I think you should like journal and ask yourself why you do the things that you keep doing, nigga, until you figure out what that thing is, and actively try to release yourself from that pattern. I think as a man, as a dude, there's a lot that like society expects you to act and perform masculinity. I think you should figure out the parts of masculinity that don't serve you or you actually don't enjoy doing, and like be okay with being yourself. And sometimes that's not attractive to other people. That may not be attractive to women, but like, I think being true to yourself is more important than like serving anybody else's perception of you. So yeah, like, notice when you're like, this doesn't feel right in my spirit, however I'm acting, and write that shit down. Talk to yourself, nigga. That's my advice. Talk to yourself enough to like become the purest version of yourself. Yeah.
The people love that.
We need
love that.
We need like the flex.
I have like, hold on, wait. I just, hopefully it doesn't ruin anything, but I just want to see what other stuff. I have so many things I don't remember.
Did you record that? Was that you, nigga?
Yeah, no, that was from a vinyl. Wait.
Ooh, look what that money make a bitch do.
Yes.
Can I hit one? Can I hit one?
Yeah.
Two war.
I don't even know what that one is.
I'm not fucking leaving. I'm not fucking leaving.
We had a whole bunch of shit. I don't even know. All right. Okay. Well, thank you, Matt, for coming through, man. I really appreciate, or thank you for letting me come. I'm so used to having people at my house when I do this, but you know, experimenting. But once again, though, thank you so much.
Thank you,
for having me come by. Let the people know where they can find you, where they can find your work or anything like that.
Yeah, bro. IG and TikTok at this.mmw. And yeah, bro, more music on the way. when I get done with this show, I'm about to make some new music, nigga. Let's go.
Looking forward to it. Well, once again, thank you, Matt, for coming by or having me by. And thank you all for listening. And that is going to do it for this episode of the Snooze Button Specials. Tune in next time where I'll have somebody sitting in Matt's seat, or I'll be in somebody else's house and I'll be annoying them with questions. Thank you all for listening. Have a good one.